Take the contents out of the package and lay them out on a flat surface so that you can easily get to each one as needed in the following steps. Once the parts have been laid out, remove the excess wood from each one of the panels. The excess wood is there just in the event that you wanted to paint your project before assembly. Step 1 of the installation manual shows that the battery pack gets attached to the back plate with 2 screws. Don't do that. Instead, peel off the protective film on the double-sided tape and apply it to the back plate. Make sure that you align it before you press it into place, because once it's pressed into place, it will be quite difficult for you to remove it and realign it. After you've done that, feed those 2 wires through the hole as shown in the video. Step 2 is to assemble the 2 speakers with 8 screws at 4 screws each. Make sure that you place them correctly as shown with the wires facing down on the front plate. Also, you will be using the short screws. There are 2 sizes of screws, long and short. You'll be using the short screws. If you haven't done so already, it's a good idea to separate the longer screws from the shorter ones. This way you don't have to hunt for them, as you're looking for either a short screw or a long screw. You'll select them from the correct pile accordingly. Now that you have made the 2 piles, it's so much easier to grab the correct screws that are needed for the speakers. You'll notice that there's something round on the screwdriver that I'm using here in the demo. That round little thing is a magnet, and all it does is help the screwdriver hold the screws. This makes it much easier. So continue to assemble all 8 screws to hold the speakers in place as shown. Make sure the orientation of the wires of the speakers that you just screwed into the front panel are as shown in the video. And then we will continue with step 3 to install the sides. Step 3 is the installation of the side panels. Make sure that you grab the correct side panel. Let's install this on the left side, viewing from behind. Also notice the orientation of the panel. Some of these panels look very, very similar, but you have to make sure that you've grabbed the right one, because others may fit, but they will be the incorrect piece of panel. Some of these panels can be quite hard or difficult for a child with small hands to assemble because of the tabs, and they may break off very easily. We suggest that you have an adult do this part of the installation. Slip the wires of the on-off switch into the hole and press the switch into the rectangled box with 2 thumbs. It doesn't matter which way the switch is facing, left or right. Just make sure that it fits and seats properly all the way inside of the slot. Connect the red wire from the switch to the red wire of the piece of cable that has 2 wires attached to it. You can only attach 1 wire in one direction, so there's no way that you can mess this part up because that's the only way that they will go together. So whichever wire connects on the red side, connect that wire from the switch to the wire that has that white connector on it. In step 7, you'll be connecting the only wire that you can, because some are male and some are female, so you can connect the only wire from the switch into the only wire that it can possibly go in. Then affix the top of the switch panel to the box. Make sure that you're doing it as shown in the video. Line up the tabs and push them into place, the same that you've been doing with the other tabs. When you've installed the top panel, your project should look like it does in the video, with the wires, all 3 connectors, coming out from the bottom. Position the Bluetooth board on the last piece of panel. Make sure that you're positioning it exactly as shown, with the 2 white connectors at the top and the red connector on the right. Use a long screw on the lower left to hold it into place, and a shorter screw on the top right, exactly as shown in this picture. Connect the speaker wires to the white tabs on the circuit board, and note that the connectors will only fit in one way. It doesn't matter which of the white connector you put into which one of the white, left or right, irrelevant. And then connect the power, which is the only other connector left, will go into the red one. That's the one from the batteries. Now that all the wires have been connected, you can install the top just as you were doing before, lining up the tabs and pressing everything into place. Congratulations! The assembly of your Bluetooth receiver is now complete. The only other thing that you need for it to work properly is to install the batteries in the back. The batteries are included with this package. You can either keep your Bluetooth receiver as it is, or you can go onto the video and install the OWL assembly kit. Start by carefully separating the individual parts from the panels. There will be extra parts, so don't worry if you end up with extra parts. Extra parts have been included in the kit. Carefully do this though, because some of these parts are very small, as you'll see.
Thank you.